afternoon, everyone. Welcome to R&T Farms virtual chat. I am Brittany with Discover Dairy Program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Hope and, of course, her adorable adopted calves, Autumn, Honey, and Daisy. Today's tour wouldn't be possible without the generous support of Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. And for anyone that is new to Discover Dairy or Adopt a Cow, this lesson is an online resource that includes Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while teaching concepts about dairy. You can find these resources at www.discoverdairy.com. And again, they are completely free for anyone to sign up and use. We'd love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year if you've enjoyed the program this year and enjoy this live chat today. So if you're interested in joining again, we will be starting our new program in 22-23. Registration for that will open May 1st this year. You can sign up to get a notification email when registration is open, and that link is going to be dropped into the chat feature for you. That is discoverdairy.com/adopt. So you can go ahead and copy and paste that link. You can sign up for the email notification so you won't miss the opportunity when the registration opens up again for next year. Next, as everyone continues to join us live here today, you'll see the chat feature is enabled. So please feel free to use that chat feature to ask questions and comment as we go through the chat. Please make sure that these questions do stay related to the chat and are school appropriate, but we are really excited to hear your questions, and I know Farmer Hope is excited to answer them. So I'm just going to go look over here and see who's joining us today. We've got Mrs. Lantman's class from Grant County, Kentucky. We're excited to have you. Thanks for joining us. We have a first grade class from Ashland, Kentucky. Welcome. We're excited to have you. Let's see, we've got Mrs. Brooks' second grade class in Louisville, Kentucky. So we're excited to have you all. And as you continue to join, please go ahead and let us know where you're joining us from so we can give you a little shout out. Okay, well, without further ado, we are really excited and pleased to introduce you to Farmer Hope in Magnolia, Kentucky at R&T Farms. Hey, Farmer Hope, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Brittany. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm excited to see you, your beautiful face, and these beautiful ladies. I know they've been kind of pushing us around a little bit here today, but
yeah,
looks like they're occupied. So this is a good time to join in with you and hear about how you're doing the farm and how the ladies are doing.
Yes, ma'am. They're doing good. I gave them a little treat. Normally they don't get fed, but in the mornings and afternoons, but they were getting a little pushy, so we gave them a little treat to keep them calmed down.
That works. So yeah, tell us about you, Hope, and your farm.
This is third generation farm. I think they started here in 1954. Me and my husband, my father-in-law, own and operate it now. We do all the work. We milk cows, we row crop corn and soybeans, we have beef cattle, and I think that's all we do.
It sounds like an awful lot. Just saying.
It is. It is. But
and I think you guys raise your own beef too, right? Did you say that?
We do raise our own beef. We raise and sell wholesale beef off the farm. So
very cool.
Yes.
So tell us about these lovely ladies. How are they doing? Introduce us to each one if you don't mind, for anyone that might be joining us that's not an Adopt a Cow, but tell us who we got here.
And they're not going to cooperate. This one here, 480, this is Honey, and she's the biggest of the three, especially the tallest. She may get outweighed by Autumn, but she's definitely one of the biggest. She was born in September, and then on the outside, since she's standing there, she lost her tag. That is Daisy, and she's a little bit smaller. Honey, leave her alone. And then we have Autumn. Come on, Autumn, walk up there. There's Autumn. And she'll come in second in height and weight as being the biggest. But they are here probably by the end of the week. They're going to be out in about a a 10, 15 acre pasture field. So they're ready to get moved. They're just in here so y'all can see them close up and interact with them. Um, Honey here and Autumn, they like people and they like to bug people. Daisy, she's a little bit more backwards. She doesn't care if anybody talks to her or anything. She just wants to hang out with her friends and be by herself.
Sounds like a typical teenager, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They seem like they're very friendly and really they love hanging out with each other. And
Yes.
oh my goodness. So what are they eating right now? What's in that green tub?
This is a mixed feed for them. They get this twice a day, and it's corn and soybean meal, distiller's grain, and it's got some protein pellets and stuff in there for them.
Okay.
So they get that twice a day. That'll be nice. And then they drink water and they get some hay. They're just currently out right now because they're getting ready to be moved. So we're not putting a new roll in front of the gate for them. But yeah, so that's what they do. And then they have this pen. It's not the biggest, but like I said, they're getting ready to be shifted and they get to lay on this soft straw all the time. And they eat, drink, eat hay, and just do nothing but run around and chill all day long.
That sounds like a pretty awesome life, I must say. Oh, they're really enjoying their pen there, and they do look like they're getting a little big for inside, but we appreciate you keeping them in here for the live chat, so we didn't have to chase them all over the pasture, and then
yes.
we could
it just works better that way.
Right. No, absolutely. That I believe it. And we had to let you know we had two more other classes hop on here. We have Mrs. Hardson's class from Franklin, Kentucky, and then also Mrs. Porter's second grade class. And so they're excited to join us today. And
welcome.
Mrs. Hardson said that us describing the one heifer as being a little bit moody and liking to hang out with only her friends sounds like her whole class. So
yeah. Do they happen to have Daisy, the one that's backwards?
Let me see. She does actually. Daisy is their adopted calf.
So that worked perfectly. She's always been that way. Even when she was a baby calf, she wanted her milk, she wanted her feed, she wanted to be left alone. Now, Honey and Autumn, they're totally opposite, especially Honey. She's in your face all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Unless there's feed. So, but she'll be pushing us around here in a minute.
Oh my. They are really just growing and looking so big, and they're looking very happy and comfortable. Farmer Hope, if you don't mind letting us know, so they're in this pen right now. They're gonna be moving out to the pasture then soon. What's the next steps after the pasture? Where do they get to live after that? What's kind of their next life?
Well, after they'll be in that pasture, it's about 15 acres. They'll be there until they're about 15 months old, and then they'll be put at another farm, and they'll be bred at that time, and then they'll come in back to this farm, and we'll show you the dry cow lot where they'll come to. They'll come to there when they're about 30 to 45 days from calving, and then after they calve, they'll be put in the milk herd and be living their best life there then.
Awesome. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful life to live. And I know I would love if I was a cow, you'd be a pretty great farm to live on. So yeah, that sounds exciting. We had another class, Miss Sims, 8th grade class, join us from Bluegrass Middle School. So thanks for joining us today, guys. We had a question from Ag Lover. It says, does Autumn chase things? And maybe you could answer that for any of them. Do they chase or play or anything like that?
They'll chase each other around this pen, especially they get bedded down like 2-3 times a week. So when you put fresh straw in here for them to lay on, all we do is throw it over here like a quarter bale at a time. And anyway, they'll run around and chase each other. We should have just waited and put more straw in so y'all could see it, but they'll just run around and kick it up in the air, and they just have the best time. I have thought about getting them a ball to put in here. You see like all these TikToks and everything where they'll throw a ball in with calves or goats or
Mhm.
something. I should have bought one for them.
Well, you'll have to let us know if you ever decide to do that for any of your other new babies, and let us know if
Yeah,
they like it. Yeah.
yeah. Get one of those big exercise balls where they won't be able to pop it.
Right? Yes. Oh my gosh. We so just wanted to remind everyone, please feel free to go ahead and put in your questions. We'd love to hear from you and want to make sure we're answering any of your questions. But while we're waiting for more, I do have another one that came in. Someone asked, how old do cows live? What's kind of their oldest that they could be, and maybe what's your oldest cow you've ever had on your farm?
The oldest, she passed away last year, and she was kind of the queen of the farm, and she was a little over 14 years old.
Wow. But
Yeah, she was.
that's pretty old and not normal, right?
Well, yeah, some of our cows are like 8 and 10 years old,
Okay.
but we keep them as long as that we can.
Mhm.
Um, that all they do is eat, drink, and go lay down, and they
Right.
get milk for like 7 minutes a day. So they got a good life. It's just if something happens, but you're looking at 8, 10 years old
Yeah.
at least.
Awesome.
So
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
yes,
that's awesome. Let's see. We've got Mrs. Baker's first and second grade class that just joined us today, and they adopted Honey. So thanks so much for joining us today, guys. We have a question that came in. What is your favorite thing about working with dairy cattle? So that question is for you, Hope. What's your favorite thing about working with dairy?
well, my favorite thing is getting to see them be born and then raise them up and put them in the milk line. But I'm a cow person more than a people person, so I'm happy with the animals.
This is your happy place.
Yes, this is my happy place.
Love it. Absolutely. Oh, and I see where we've made some friends.
Yes.
We had a question come in that asked, how much do the calves weigh when they're full grown?
Some of our milk cows will weigh 1,800 pounds. Now that is your Holsteins, and we just have Holsteins and red and whites here, so they can weigh anywhere from 15 to 2,000 pounds. We've had cows that weigh a ton, so it all
Literally.
depends. Now, yeah,
Literally one ton. Holy moly.
yes,
So
yes,
I'm curious, what a 2,000 pound cow is huge. What do
yes,
you need to do as a farmer for animal handling? Like, how do you manage cows that are that big? What are some safety precautions maybe you have to take? Because that's a big animal, and you got to make sure you're working with them so that way you can take care of them. What are just a couple of things you
yes.
do to help manage a big animal like that?
Well, we've not had any that like cows that were really bossy that were that big. But you just, I mean, they go by body signal and everything like that. So you don't have to get rough with them. You just kind of point them in the right direction and they go. But Honey's getting up close and personal there. Um, like when it's milking time, we might have to go to the barn and get them, but they know what they have to do. They come out of the barn, they go get milked, and after they get milked, they can go eat and drink and go to bed. So, there's no, you know, you just head them in the right direction and they will go.
Right. They're creatures of habit, I guess, would be,
Yes.
yeah, they like
Yes.
doing what they're comfortable with. Yeah. We've got another question that came in. Oh, a question about when they're babies. When the calves are born, are they snuggly, or what's kind of like the first hour or two look like when a calf is born?
When a calf is born, normally we leave our calves with our cows at least 12 hours. So, sorry, Honey's getting a little rough with the camera lady. Um,
Oh no.
so, anyway, they stay out. We'll go back out there to the dry cow lot. They're born in a pasture. And when we get them up, I love all over them, of course, but they get their vaccines after after they sorry after I get them up, and then I dehorn them. If you'll notice that none of our heifers have horns,
Hmm.
um, we use a numbing solution that will numb them, and
Hmm.
then you can feel a little um, horn bud,
Mhm.
and I just clip the hair off the horn bud, and I use a dehorning paste, and
Mhm.
they feel nothing,
Mhm.
because you do it so young, and then the numbing solution helps with that process too.
Mhm.
But that way, if they don't have horns, they can't be as bossy as, if a cow has a horn, they can hurt another cow or a human or
Right.
anything like that. So
Yeah.
that's why we do the dehorning process, and it don't hurt them, and
Mhm.
it keeps the people and the other cows safe too.
Yeah. Absolutely. What this one's from Bailey. What does Daisy's everyday life consist of? And that could be for all three of them. What's their everyday life look like? Is it
Well,
rough?
all three of them, yeah, they have it really rough. Um, they get fed about 7 o'clock in the morning, and so they get fed at 7. They eat, they drink, they lay down or play, whatever they choose to do, because they get to do what they want, and then they get fed in the afternoon about 6 o'clock, and they eat and they drink and they eat their hay, and then they play. So that's all they do right now is nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
They want for nothing.
Well, I think they got the life. They don't have to go to school. That might be they get to
That's right.
or work or anything. They get to just
Right.
relax until they're 2 years old. So
They do.
we've
They
got
do.
another question coming in from April. How many gallons of milk do they make a day when they start milking? And when do you start milking?
They'll they'll calve in about 24 months old, 24, 25 months old. And like their first lactation, sometimes they don't milk as good as they do when, they're second or third. But they can give up to 8 or 9 gallons. We've had more to give more. We've had some to give less.
Mhm.
But they'll calve in about 24, 25 months old. Then they'll go to work. But it's not a hard day's work. I mean, they have to work 15 minutes a day. So,
Right. That is the life. I could work 15 minutes a day. That would be all right. Oh my goodness. Let's see. We've got some other questions coming in. Thank you so much to everyone for putting in some questions. We love getting to answer them. We have so Kimberly was just asking how many cows do you have and how much feed do the grown cows eat each day?
We're currently milking 90 head, and they will eat at least 100 pounds of a total mixed ration, which we put it in a big mixer wagon, and they get corn silage. They get a feed that is the nutritionalist make sure everything works for the corn silage we have. They get hay, and they get a wet distiller's grain. So all that's mixed together like a big salad, and they get it fed to them 4 times a day.
Hmm. Now you've mentioned, I think this is the second time you might have said wet distiller's grain or distiller's grain. Now, is that a byproduct of something that is recycled on your farm? You want to talk about that a little bit?
It is a byproduct of corn, and we buy it from where they make Maker's Mark is where it comes from.
Hmm.
So we buy it from them. It's a byproduct from corn, and it's shipped in here on a semi, and we put that in. Um, cows they love byproducts.
Yeah. Yeah, they're able to digest it and use something that
Yes,
would have been a waste otherwise, right? So they're
yes,
they're
that's
great
right.
recyclers of all kinds of things like that. I know some folks use cottonseed in feed,
Mhm.
byproducts of making our clothing. And so it's pretty
Yes,
impressive what they can all eat and turn
yeah.
into energy.
Actually, these heifers here, all the heifers that are fed until they go in the milk cow, they have cottonseed in their
Hmm.
feed that's mixed and brought to the farm. So
So they're eating
yeah,
some byproducts too, which is really
that's
awesome
right.
that cows can do that. And because we certainly can't, like we would,
Exactly.
so it's a good thing that they can and help us limit they are great recyclers and help us just be good stewards of the land, which is pretty great.
Yes. I was actually at a meeting 2 weeks ago, I think, and they talked about byproducts and everything. And he said that if cows did not um, if we didn't use byproducts to feed cows, that there would be um, 50 times more waste per day, just because of the cows eat all the byproducts. So if they weren't doing that, there would be more waste and more emissions and
Wow.
all that. So yeah.
That's a huge number, 50 times more. I'm so glad you shared that fact. That is all right. We're going to see if anyone was paying attention. If you can remember, and maybe if you can tell us if you remember what are one of the things that these gals are eating or will be eating that makes them a great recycler. So let's see if anyone remembers, and go ahead and throw it in the chat if you can remember either of the two things we were just talking about. I'd love to see if you remember, because being recyclers is a pretty impressive power that these girls have. And
Yes.
while we're
And
waiting, oh, go ahead.
we don't have access to it, but there are some dairy farms that they'll feed their cows chocolate and vegetables and produce, and but we don't have access around here. So
Right.
our cows will be eating vegetables and chocolate too. Wouldn't that be the life, to get a little chocolate every day?
Right. And it'd be good stuff and good energy, and it's
That's
incredible.
right.
We had a question come in that they were asking, why do these girls have tags in their ears?
Well, we don't name all of our calves, and we need to be able to identify who they are. So I don't know if Denise can get up close to one of the tags, but the big number on the tag is that, like Autumn, she's going up to Autumn, and she's going to turn around. The big number on the tag is her identification. And then on top of that big number is a date, which is the calf's birthday. And on the bottom of that tag is the calf's dad and her mom. So 480, Honey, her dad is Design, and her mom is 301. And on top, you can see what her birthday was.
So that gives
And
you
if
a
you'll
quick glance.
Yes, and you don't have to go back to the records, and you can just look at the tag and go, "Oh yeah."
Right.
If you'll notice, Daisy, she kind of apparently she got hung. Her ear got hung, or her tag got hung on a cattle panel or something. She ripped it out, so she doesn't have a tag, but we'll retag her when we work them here before we move them.
Gotcha. Yeah, she's just tagless. Good thing
Yep.
she's pretty noticeable though, because I think she's the smallest one in that group, isn't
Yep,
she? So
she is. She's the smallest.
it's hard to forget who she is.
Right.
And it looks like we've got everyone who's replying. Byproducts, corn byproducts. Nice. Everyone's remembering what we were just talking about. So
Good
that's
deal.
great. Nice job, everybody. Called distiller's grain. Yes, very nice. Let's see. We've got this is a good question from Ms. Brooks. We've got, can calves see when they are first born?
Yes, they can see.
Yeah.
And did you know that a cow can smell up to 6 miles away?
6 miles.
Yeah.
You ain't sneaking up on them.
That's right. So when the weather's getting ready to change, they smell it coming.
Well, that makes sense, because don't they like to hunker down under trees and stuff if a storm's
That's right.
coming? And oh my goodness, 6 miles. That's a fun
Yes.
fact for all of you. That's pretty good. I like it. Let's see. We've got a couple other questions that we can try and take here before we start wrapping it up. We've got about 5 minutes or so. So maybe if you guys want to just hang out here with the calves another minute, and then we can go outside and show them the pasture then. But we had a question on, if you don't mind recapping, how many times a day you milk the cows, and do you have a favorite cow?
We milk the cows twice a day. And I do have a favorite cow, and she's probably in the barn, so we won't be able to find her. She's actually the oldest daughter, no, the second oldest daughter of the queen, the 14 that I told you that I lost last year. So yeah, I'm just keeping it in the family.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to just pass it down. That makes sense.
That's right. And then we got Honey here. She's kind of a pet here, so I'm sure she's going to be one of the favorites.
Right. She definitely has no flight zone. She's pretty calm.
That's right.
So we had a good question come in. What are some signs to know if a calf is sick, and what do you do as a farmer to help take care of them so they can get better?
Um, Sometimes if they can get ear infections and everything, so their ear will droop on one side or the other. They like when they get fed. If they don't come up and eat, that's a good sign that they have a tummy issue or they got a cold or something. But if they feel bad, depending on what's wrong with them, we will give them an antibiotic um, to make them feel better. Just like if you get sick, your mom or dad takes you to the doctor. Um, we can doctor them here ourselves. We've done it, um, the whole time we've been farming. But if we can't doctor, we actually call a vet or take them to a vet and have the doctor. If there's something we can't fix ourselves, they do go see a doctor just like y'all do.
Gotcha.
So,
and you mentioned vet. So a veterinarian is what you call an animal doctor, and that's who takes care of your cows if it's more severe.
yes.
Yeah. And they also come and do a vet check, right? They kind of come and check on the older ladies.
They do. They come once a month and check on them. But if we need them before then, we just call them and they'll come do whatever needs to be done before then. So
yeah. We had a good question, especially with a comparison in this pen, because we've got a red and white back there and mostly black and white. Someone asked, what causes the different spots and colors on a calf?
Well, the red heifer back there in the corner, she's done turned her back. So her mom was a red Holstein. So reds are my favorite, by the way. But we'll breed to a red bull. So normally they come out red and white, just the genes. And sometimes you can breed 2 red cows and get a black and white calf. Like Honey here, her mom was bred to a red bull because she has some red genes, but Honey still come out black and white. So it just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Just the way it happened. Yeah. I guess if anyone's studying this at all in science class or has studied it, I believe that would be genotypes and phenotypes and being able to do the Punnett square and see what your chances are of them coming out black or red or, all that kind of stuff. So it's all about genetics. It's just like dogs or us, why we have brown hair or blonde hair or anything like that. So
exactly.
Yeah. Very cool. And kind of along with that, so we mentioned you have Holsteins. Someone asked, Lori Brooks asked, how many types of cows are there?
Six. There is Holsteins, Jerseys, Guernseys, Ayrshire, Milk and Shorthorn. What did I leave out?
Brown Swiss, I think.
And Brown Swiss.
Brown Swiss, yeah.
And then Holsteins, the red and white Holsteins and the black and white Holsteins, they are considered the same breed. It's just the gene of the color. So.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. If you want to, maybe we'll just get a little shot quick of the calves and give them a little bye, but we'll go and check out the pastures quick as we wrap it up here. But they have been adorable. And oh my gosh, she is so lovely.
She's always like when I have to take pictures for y'all kids, I take pictures and she comes right up to the camera and all you see is her nose. So she is very I think this Adopt a Calf program has spoiled her a little more than she should be sometimes.
We get to spoil them. And
yeah. And then there's Daisy. You can't get good pictures of her because she don't want nobody to see her.
She's a shy one. That's all right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So I think we're going to go ahead and just meander out to the pasture.
Okay.
And then we can just show the pasture real quick and we'll say bye to the ladies, but they've been great to hang out with and it's been a lot of fun learning about them. And before we tune off today, we're going to go ahead and show you guys the pasture where they'll be heading out to next and wrap it up here for you today. While we walk ourselves out, we did have a question that someone asked, and this is a really good one, and maybe you know the number off the top of your head, but someone asked how much money is invested in a calf? Like how much does it cost to raise a calf until they're 2 years old and actually start producing something that you can have an income off of?
I haven't put the pencil to it, but I'd say it's at least $2,500 time you can get her milking.
Mhm.
And that's before feed prices went up. So,
Right. Yeah. Free prices have gone up. So
okay.
yeah.
Yes. The pasture you see here is actually where the calves are born. This is the dry cow lot. There is actually, I don't know if you can see her, a heifer right behind this row of hay. Denise is going to take the camera there. There's about a 15-acre pasture over there. So they will be leaving the pen they're in and going to that pasture field. So you can't see it. It's all downhill, but that's where they're going.
Right. Oh, it looks like such a big, beautiful open field and just lots of green grass for them to enjoy and get to start their life on and then get to go back to it once they're old enough to join the milking herd.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
after they leave that 15-acre lot, they'll have two different pastures they'll go to, and they're about 45 acres apiece. So them and their friends get all kinds of room.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Well, Farmer Hope, this has been a lot of fun. To wrap up here, I do have one last question for you. We would love to know what's your why? Why do you choose to farm every day? Why do you take care of these beautiful babies and keep farming? You know, it doesn't mean very much vacation for you. So what's
Right.
your why to farming?
Well, to get me out of bed every morning, I meant, I get to come over here and love on the babies and the cows and produce food for the world. Like I said, this third generation, me and my husband, my father-in-law farm together, and there's nothing better than farming with your family and your friends when they come to see you and help. But, it's just a lifestyle. It's a way of life, and there's nothing else I'd rather do in the world. You know,
I love it. The passion is so evident. We are so thankful that you and your family have taken such good care of these three adorable calves that we've adopted out this year. So thank you so much for just being a truly wonderful dairy farmer, taking good care of them, letting them live a happy life on your farm, only making them work 15 minutes a day, which is pretty
that's
impressive.
right.
And that's
That's
every
right.
farm, every farm,
Yes.
maybe it's 3 times a day, but that's max a
Yes.
half hour. Every cow on every farm has an amazing life, but thank you for being one of those many amazing farmers. It's been a lot of fun
Well,
working
you're
with you.
welcome.
Yeah,
We enjoy
absolutely.
doing what we do. And I will say, I will try to keep posting pictures of them every now and then so y'all can keep up. So make sure you watch the Facebook page
Oh,
for
awesome.
pictures of them throughout their life.
Oh, I have no doubt everyone will love that. So make sure you catch that. Check out Facebook if you haven't already been watching Facebook. She'll try to keep up with some photos as, over the summer and things like that. So Farmer Hope, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you who adopted. This was a lot of fun. We have just, one or two more things we'll send out to you throughout the rest of the program here, but we're wrapping everything up, which is exciting. So thank you for joining the program. We hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, you can sign up for registration again starting May 1st, and you can sign up to get that notification email when registration opens so you don't miss the opportunity. And Farmer Hope, any last minute words for you here before we tune off?
I just want to thank everyone who signed up their class for the kids so they know where their food comes from. And Discovery Dairy and Dairy Alliance, thank you both for allowing me to have the opportunity to be one of the featured farms in this program. I enjoy it, and maybe I'll see you next year or the next few years. Who knows?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, we love it. All righty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Farmer Hope. This has been wonderful. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye bye.